Yes, welcome back to the stream. We've got breaking news before I've even gone properly live. Big ups. My hand actually just fades away when it goes into the light here. But big ups, we got breaking news the moment I have just gone live here. We have another exit that isn't Manuel Akanji. Can you guess who it is? I can. It's İlkay Gündoğan. İlkay Gündoğan is leaving the club today. Big ups to him. You know, the year he came back, probably not the dream return everyone was hoping for. Hope he goes and smashes it at Galatasaray, though. Don't want anything bad for him. I don't feel like his time at City sours his status. I think he's still brilliant. Well, maybe it sours the ending of his career because, like, ending on a treble was brilliant, and then ending on last season not so brilliant. But big up to İlkay Gündoğan. I hope he has a brilliant time at his new home. And this just goes to show how quick deals can happen. We've known Galatasaray were interested for a while, okay, but it wasn't really progressing. 20 minutes ago, Fabrizio put this out. This is like one of the first truly reliable sources. And he wasn't the first, but it has gone through. Gundogan there, holding up the Galatasaray shirt. Big ups to him, but he's not the topic. Now then, of course, İlkay Gündoğan is not really the main focus of today. The main focus is Donnarumma, but I won't lie to you guys, it's more than just a here we go stream. It's more of a transfer news stream because there's just so much unfolding before us. You know, this final 2 hours is going to be mental. I'm not going to be live for the whole of it, but I'm going to be live for a good chunk because there is a lot to discuss. Anyway, let's fly on over to City Extra because City Extra tend to give you all the details. Now, if you're curious over the fee for Donnarumma, I know it didn't say in Fabrizio's post there, but I do believe it is a 30 million pound or euro deal that has gone through. It was Edison to Fenerbahce. We covered that. Where is it? There we go. It's 33 plus add-ons. I believe the add-ons bring it to 35 million. Imagine we go sign a right back out of nowhere. What shirt number will Donnarumma wear take at City? He might just take Edison's, potentially. He might take number 19 because Gundo's gone now. Imagine we sign a right back. I don't think it's going to happen, if I'm going to be blatantly honest with you, Talsif. That is something I can tell you. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm afraid. As much as I might want it to, it's not happening. But hey, if it happens, I'll be celebrating. And Akanji also has been confirmed to be leaving the club as well. Those negotiations advanced big time today between City and Inter Milan. This really came out of nowhere, I'm not gonna lie. Here was like the initial thing, exclusive. City agreed deal with City to sign Akanji. It's a 2 million loan fee plus a 15 million buy option to become mandatory over difficult conditions. Akanji's going for his medical. We need to change models, no more project players. And you're not so great at Visit City. I think Donnarumma kind of symbolises that. Okay, and same with Reinders. Reinders is 27 now. Donnarumma is 26. Two top players, okay? And we need to keep working on bringing in players that are ready-made, you know? It's great to have your project players, you know? I can think of multiple that we have in the team, but I think we have too many. Look at incoming since the treble. And look at the change in strategy. We'll have a look now. Why not? But let me know what you're thinking about Donnarumma, because Donnarumma for me is a great signing that can only be looked at that way. You know, Donnarumma is a very good signing, but I still don't, just to put any concerns on, I don't think Donnarumma being in that team against what they called. Oh, blinking out. Wait there. 1 second. I'm just going to run over here. There we go. shut the door. There was some loud talking, so put that to bed. No, let's go over here. City and Chelsea have gone down the route of young players. It'll never work in a big club. This is City. Sorry about yesterday when I was raging at Man City. I didn't mean to tag you though. I mean, yeah. Let's first of all, before we actually do have a look at our incomings here, let's look at our project players that we have at the club right now. Trafford, project player. That's one. Kusanov, project player. That's two. Won't class Vardio. I think he's ready-made. I think he's top. Lewis, project player. Nico. He's like halfway. We'll leave it. O'Reilly, project player. Doku, project player. Savinio, project player. Bob, Shirky. That's 8 players, okay, that we rely on to some level. Doku's a regular for the team, as was Savinio last season. You know, O'Reilly back in the last season was a regular. Rico gets a lot of minutes. Kusanov is new, okay. Nico 100% project in my opinion. Yeah, alright, we'll class Nico as well then. That's 9. That's 9. 9 project players. Okay, I could barely keep it on one hand, guys. You know, we should be making more smart signings like Tijani Reinders. Tijani Reinders is 27, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's a top player that was ready to come in now, once he's at the peak of his powers to help the team in any way he can. You know, that is what Tijani Reinders is. Okay, we've made signings like that before. Okay, and you might be thinking, which ones connect? Now then, look, when we signed Haaland, of course he was young, but there was no doubt about his talent. Okay, he was special. Okay, he's proven to be so. Okay, but if you look for someone a bit older, look at Riyad Mahrez. Even Jack Grealish, when we signed him, was 25. Okay, and was one of the best players in the Premier League. You know, Akanji was like 26 when we signed him. Nathan Ake was 25. Sure, Ake was a relegated centre-back with Bournemouth, but you're seeing the logic. Look at the incoming since trouble. Look at who we've replaced him with. Let's go have a look. Transfers. Oh, look at it. All transfers. Here we go. So this is arrivals versus departures. We are gonna go for. We're gonna go for treble. Okay, this is treble. Holy man, it's a big list. This is treble season. Okay, I don't know why Rico's here. He's just been promoted more so. This is treble players. Okay, we signed Haaland, who was obviously ready-made top talent. Phillips, who at the time was a very solid defensive midfielder. Okay, ready-made talent. Akanji, who was a 5th choice centre-back when he joined City for us, and fit that role perfectly. And Gomez was a ready-made, and was a talent player. Okay, you go over here and you look at who we sold. Sterling, Jesus, Zinchenko were all good players, okay, but we didn't deem them. The thing is, we didn't really deem these guys necessary for our oh man. Fernandinho's 29. Yeah. Fernandinho 29. Mara's 26. Grealish 25, turning 26, I think. You can't put a backup guy on 6 years, 200k a week. That's crazy. Yeah, I think Phillips is the biggest fumble ever. Okay, I know I've just complimented the club and how we signed him. Okay, but you get what I'm saying. Now, let's go to the next season. Okay, let's have a look at our departures. Cole Palmer. Okay, he was a very talented academy player that we sold. Okay, for a very good fee at the time, 47 million. Mahrez, one of the best wingers in the league, sold for 35 million. Laporte, one of the best centre backs in the league. I think he's so underrated. Sold for less than 30 million. Trafford, and very much an academy player at the time, sold. Okay, but these two here, very important players. Okay, these were the players we bought in. Josko Vardio, very good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I think that's a very good replacement. Mateus Nunes, who was kind of, I guess, in a way, your replacement for Ilkay Gundogan. Okay, we also lost Joao Cancelo. Is a big thing to note. Okay, we lost Ilkay Gundogan and Joao Cancelo on top of everything here. Okay, we didn't sign a fullback. Jeremy Doku, who was our Riyad Mahrez replacement, and Mateo Kovacic. Okay, Kovacic and Nunes were there to fill the hole that Ilkay Gundogan left behind, and Doku was brought in to fill the hole Mahrez left, and Vardio was there to fill the hole Laporte left. I think Vardio's done a good job. These two have struggled with their roles, and in fact, so has Doku. Doku hasn't gotten a goal of more than 17 GNA in a season. Replacing Doku for Mahrez, it's just something you can't really do. You can bring Doku in alongside someone, maybe, okay, to help, but Mahrez was a 30 GNA winger. Every year he would get you 20 goals, okay, and then any assists you get on top of that, you thank him kindly for. Doku hasn't even gotten 20 GNA in a season for us, you know? That is the big thing for me. That's the big thing for me. We don't replace goals, okay? And now you're thinking, well, there's only Mahrez, okay, that we lost. Cole Palmer wasn't really adding anything. Even go to the next season. Now then, I know some of these came in. Now, I know some of this came in the January, okay? We made up for it in Jan, sure. Okay, but just look over here. Julian Alvarez brought in 32 goal contributions in the 23-24 season. Again, that's another big set of goal contributions that you don't just replace, that you don't just leave uncounted for. Us, we replaced Julian Alvarez, a 75 million euro player, for Savinho, 25 million. Okay, probably underbought him there. Okay, probably worth more like 35 to 40. But again, it was big goal contributions and hoping. Talsif, man. Talsif, yeah. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not gonna happen, man. Yeah, but Savinho, a project player who had a decent season at Girona, it was very impressive, okay, especially considering the season Girona had. But he cannot be your Alvarez replacement. He cannot. Now, we made decent moves in January. Marmoush, I think, is a top player. Okay, but he should have been in the summer, or the player of his caliber. Okay, no one really expected Marmoush to have the season that he did and was having at Frankfurt. Okay, but a player of his level, okay, should have been what we bought in that summer. Okay, otherwise we wouldn't have had to go bought Marmoush. Kusanov and Hayes were mainly brought in to fill out the centre backs because we were absolutely going through huge injuries. Okay, don't forget Simpson Pousse was playing at times. Okay, now another fullback that we lost and had yet replaced Kyle Walker and Joao Cancelo. Okay, I know Kyle Walker left in January. Okay, but still, when you lose Joao Cancelo, someone that was that influential to our team, when he was playing well, he was playing well. Someone that influential to our team, you don't just not replace. You've got to replace that. You've got to replace that in my mind. And as opposed to replacing it, we left it and we lost Kyle Walker along the way too. Gonzalez was something City fans were calling out for because we needed an actual CDM. Nico G out of nowhere. Lol, we were linked 3 DMs the entire January. And we agreed terms like 5 days before deadline day. And he was not a deadline day deal. Yeah, we don't do deadline day deals like on the fly. Okay, we'd only ever do a deadline day deal if like something crazy happened. Autism and epilepsy, and I'm a man 65. Love your videos. Please keep it subs to my YouTube channel, please. Well, big up to you, MJ Football. Hope you're good. I'm glad that my content makes you enjoy it. There you go. I've just dropped the sub on you, MJ Football. Big ups to you. You, bro. State of them 2 summers disgrace. Yeah, it's not great. It really isn't. This has been better, okay, because we signed Rangers that we needed. Aitnuri, we needed. Shirky, your very good um like project player. Okay, it's these two, and then Nipan, who obviously was a lone guy. Okay, so these two are your projects. Okay, Donnarumma's course ready made with Reinders, and then Aitner is that like middle area. We still need a right back this window. We're not going to get one, so I'm not going to sit here nagging. And you know, I'm not going to sit here nagging. Send link to his channel. I'll sub. Yeah, wait there. I'll send it now. Yeah, let's try to get this guy to 1,000 subs. That should do. That work? Or have I messed it up? Let me know if that worked. I don't know if it did or not. Yeah. But look, this summer's been better. Okay, but on the back of 2 bad windows in a row, this is hard to recover from. No, it's hard to recover from overnight. Okay, because the thing is, we were at the top. Okay, other teams were playing catch up. We stayed at this level. Okay, dipped a little bit, and then teams have just kept going up. Okay, now we're on a decline. Now we're trying to catch up, and that's difficult. It's difficult to go back to the top. It's harder to maintain it. Not clickable. That's on my point. That's my point. On people wanting Vienna out. Vienna, he got put in a mess. I know it's a difficult one for him to be put into. You know, we are selling players, okay, and we're not replacing them with players. Do you not smart business, okay? Let's go have a look at Julian Alvarez. Yeah, where is it? Alvarez, 75 million. We sold this guy for a lot of money. Okay, we bought in Savinho to be your replacement at the time. Okay, so Savinho bought in to be. No, he wasn't necessarily to replace. Okay, he was always meant to be an addition to the team. Okay, but what would be smart? Okay, with Savinho, Julian Alvarez money. Okay, you have Savinho as your project player, guy you're going to rotate into the team. He's only 20 years old. Okay, I think he's younger than Bob. You know, he was always going to be rotating into the team. Okay. Then with the Alvarez money, go sign a top winger who's at the top of his game that can teach Savinho, but also still provide you banging performances every week. You know, a Riyad Mahrez-esque player, Julian Alvarez-esque player, someone that is going to give you goals, really, because that's what Alvarez did for us. Someone that's going to give you goals, someone that's going to give you assists on that right wing. Instead, we put all the pressure onto Savinho and gave him the keys. He couldn't do it. You know, he just couldn't. Okay, he got 13 GNA last season. Not good enough. A third of what Alvarez got, almost. Next summer, no excuses. You have to make a ready-made close to world-class Elise is a must. Elise is going to be a hard bargain this city. I get what you're saying there. I would love to see Elise. Because just remember, we chose Doku over Elise. Just keep that in your head. But yeah, I agree. Okay, you need to go out. It's not even the age isn't the problem more than anything. It's the profile. Savinho, unknown player, really. Okay, signing after a good season with Girona. Okay, that's Savinho's profile. Elise is like 23 right now. You sign Elise, you're signing one of Bayern Munich's best footballers. Okay, you're signing that profile. Okay, he got like 44 GNA last season or something like that. That's more than Doku's got in 2 seasons combined. Who should be our right back for now? We're stuck with Lewis and Nunez. Okay, I've opted to maybe give Kusanov a game or two there, see how he does. But yeah. One thing is I'm fuming at Vienna is the right back. That's on him. Yeah, that is on him. And I don't know why we've been so stubborn on it, to be honest, because we very clearly wanted one. Okay, the reports from Fabrizio initially suggested, you remember it, I remember it, Sissy want a right back and a left back. Okay, we wanted a right back and a left back. Okay, initially it was just right back. Okay, but then we went for Nuri, and Fabrizio said that Nuri and Livramento are 2 separate deals. We would like both. Okay, we got Nuri, left hand side done. Livramento, Newcastle were like, nah, we don't want to lose him. We're not really going to help you out there. And then we just didn't really push. Look at Liverpool. Look at what they've done. You know, money isn't the issue at City. 176 million is what we've bought into the club. Is what we've spent. Okay, and we've bought in 58. Okay, that means we've only spent about 120 mil. If you're telling me you don't have another 100 mil to go spend on a player, I think we're wrong. I don't know how much City had, but we have money. Money's never the issue. Okay, we are constantly bringing in high levels of revenue. Next summer, you need a world-class winger, a world-class centre-back, and a world-class Bernardo replacement. Yeah, I agree. Okay, for me, I personally back Kusanov. Okay, I think he could be one of your centre-backs. Okay, I think you need the right back. You need a right winger who is class. Okay, you can keep Savinho. You can. I don't mind keeping Savinho. I'm not necessarily sell Savinho and give me Rodrigo. Otherwise, I never want to see Savinho playing a City shirt again. I'm not that. Okay, I was always with Savinho. I don't mind keeping Savinho, but if you're telling me we sell Savinho and gain Rodrigo, I will take that. That's always been my stance on Savinho. You can still keep Savinho, and you can bring in a 27-year-old winger, 28, 20, 26 even. You can bring in a mid-20s to late 20s winger who's at the top of their game to come in, bang out, and give you goal contributions while Savinho masters his craft. Phil Foden. Do you think he was shoved in and starting every week at the age of 20? No. It's only really been since the treble season and the 23-24 season where Phil Foden felt like he was a guaranteed name on the team sheet every week. Even the season where we did the Villa comeback, he wasn't. He was in the team a lot, okay, but he was never 100% guaranteed, okay, because there was still Mahrez there ahead of him. There was still Sterling, still Jesus, And 20 to 21 was where he really broke in. Okay, but 22-23 was where you really started seeing him more. So the point is, we are in a mess. The last 2 summers end up. Does the window shut at 7? Yes, it does. The window does shut at 7 p.m. Sadly, I don't think there's enough time to really go out and sign anyone. Rasmus Højlund has officially joined Napoli if you're interested. Donnarumma has signed his long-term contract at City. That's gone through fine. Medical complete. Big ups to him. Hopefully, maybe during this stream, we'll see him holding the shirt. But look. Oh, blinking out. Sorry. I was going for a drink. It's currently 7:28 in the UK. I can confirm to you, Tausi, that it is 5:30 in the UK. There's an hour and a half. or 528 if you want to go a bit more specific. Sissy Extra, see what they've got. Nothing much. Yeah, the injury. Yeah, Echeverry can come back to the club, but only in Jan. Look at that, Ten Hag sacked already, by the way. What a mess. Here is Akanji, who has landed in Inter Milan. Well, in Inter. No, in Milan to join Inter. Minor injury. Hey, there you go. Minor injury for Kusanov, and a 2-week recovery period and withdrawal from Uzbekistan duty. Good stuff. Okay, he's going to be fine for when he comes back to us then. Absolute joke. Nunes, Kovacic, Doku, Savinio, Gundo. You can mistake it for a club like West Ham. Yeah. And you see, this is City. I think those signings can be Man City players. Okay, because when I look at it, Kovacic. Okay, I think of Kovacic at the time he was signed. I think of a rotational midfielder who can play semi regular football for us. Doku. I think of a high potential winger that can rotate in and out of the squad and sign another winger to help him out. Okay. Gundogan, experience in the midfield, and had a good season at Barca, can add a little bit of something to us. Savinio, high potential winger, sign someone else with the Julian Alvarez money to play ahead of him. Only Kovacic. Only Kovacic has really filled that role. Gundo has been way more than he should have been in terms of play. Savinio didn't have that winger ahead of him, and neither has Doku. Absolutely furious. Clubs are jokers. Blinking at quite the username. You've got motto. Stop online hate. Blinking at big ups to you, FIFA. What do I think we need to do next summer? Bring in Livramento. Push for that. Make him push for that. You know? But I've got to say, Booze, it only happens if you get UCL football and Newcastle don't. So you start with that. Bring in a top winger. Bring in a top winger to help out on the right, because I think we need that. So you bring in your top winger and you bring in a top right back. And you bring in an engine in that midfield, like you said with Bernardo. Okay, Bernardo is the best thing Bernardo is good at is just being an absolute engine. Okay, Bernardo Prime, you won't stop him running. You know, he will never stop running, and the ball would be glued to his feet. When you add in donations, I'm not quite there yet. I'm very close though. Big ups for asking. You know, so Bernardo, you know, he is for his time. He was so world class, and for me, what he added to us is irreplaceable. Just energy everywhere. He'd run here, there, everywhere. Okay, he still runs a lot for us. Okay, he just can't do it as much, and he can't do it as quick. Donnarumma increases our chances by like 2%. That's good signings. Is it changes now in the league? Oh wait. Sorry, I just had a notification. Yeah, for me, the Donnarumma deal's good. It just doesn't make too much difference because the issue for me isn't James Trafford. How many subs do you need for? I've got the subs. It's more like the behind the scenes thinking things I need to hit. You only need like 500 subs. It's the other stuff that's a bit more harder to get. Saliba and Saka out for Man City game 21st of September. That's good, okay, but Arsenal have got depth. Tausif, okay, it's the big thing. They have Eze now. Eze, very good footballer. You know, they've just signed Hinkapai from Leverkusen. He's top two. Yeah, Arsenal have had a very good winger. I can't deny them of it. Madueke, I think, is weird. I think that's a very weird one. Okay, and look, I don't think our window's awful. I don't think our window has been awful. I just think we needed more. Right back, we absolutely needed. We 100% needed a right back added to this team. But we didn't do that. This is the change that Donnarumma makes. Instead of losing 5-1, you might lose 3 or 4-1. Big ups to you, Glimpse. How you doing? How you doing? But look, this was a here we go stream, and we've ended up ranting. And rightly so. I won't blame anyone for ranting. But look, this was the big thing here. Donnarumma to City. Here we go. It's a big, big deal for us. I'm very, very happy about it. You know, Donnarumma is a very good goalkeeper. 26 years old. Okay, he's only going to make us better. There's no way a signing like this doesn't. Sorry, we've left ourselves short. It's a 5 out of 10. I give this window a 7. I think we've had a good window. I just think we needed more. Because we've left the right back spot completely vacant, and we are missing bodies. But then these 4 and 5, if you include Donnarumma, I don't really have complaints about. I think these 4 and 5 even are top signings. Okay, I think they're very good signings and they match a good profile. But I think I think we're still short though, like you said. Okay, we need another winger. We need a fullback still. Trafford clear. How am I being harsh on Donna? It's going to go into another Christian Barahona, but yes, I can confirm that if you wanted Gundogan to be staying, I can confirm to you that he is not. He's already pictured on the Galatasaray shirt. Here he is. Galatasaray have agreed a deal, leaving the club, 2-year contract. But yeah, he will be joining Galatasaray. Yeah, look, I think the Arsenal game is out of reach. Okay, you know, I think the Arsenal game is out of reach. I don't think we win there. The most we get is maybe a draw. As harsh as that sounds, pessimistic that sounds, I don't think it looks good. Maybe Donnarumma can pull off some world-class saves and whatnot, but I don't think it's looking good, guys. What I'm hoping is we can get our act together, okay? Because we have a very good squad, okay? But Pep, Pep needs to change his way, and we didn't. And the squad, in terms of the window, needed to be better. Okay, there's still very much project players. Okay, remember we pointed out 9 project players. So we're still very short in that respect. I mean, look at signings we used to make. 21 to 22, we signed Jack Grealish for over 100 mil. 20 to 21, okay, we signed big defensive changes because we needed it. Like Diaz and Ake. Okay, Diaz was a bit more. Both of these were kind of project, but these are big signings, okay, that we needed to make. Even this summer, Rodri from Atletico Madrid. It was a very hot prospect at the time. You can understand why. Joao Cancelo, top fullback. Again, a very good one. Let's go down a bit more. Mahrez, one of the best wingers in the world and the league. Okay, it was the only signing we made this window. Okay, but it's the only one we needed. because he was a very good player. We didn't need to go crazy. And this window, we did go crazy. Laporte, 65 million. Mendy at the time, a very top left back at Monaco, we signed for almost 60. Kyle Walker for just over 50. Bernardo for 50. Edison for 40. Danilo for 30. So just thinking 6 players there. Trafford came first choice goalkeeper, not playing. I don't think he came and was going to be first choice. By the way, I don't think Trafford came and was always going to be first choice. I know he's been first choice. Talsi, no, not Talsi, FIFA. I know he's been first choice. Okay, but I think the plan was that Edison would play ahead of him. Trafford would challenge him. Trafford gets cup games, and Edison gets Premier League and Champions League games. And then we see how it goes from there. Edison doesn't renew his contract. Trafford then becomes the number one. I don't think Trafford was ever going to be true number one this season, to be fair. And that the problem isn't Donnarumma. Okay, the problem is the board. Okay, of the last 2 seasons, left us in a mess. Like this is City said. There's a lot of issues right now. Okay, that we need to iron out as a club. But look, guys, end of the day, I think we made a good signing with Donnarumma, which was the point of this stream, funnily enough. And I think Akanji leaving is probably a decent step that needed to be made. I think it leaves us a little light defensively, but I think that's just the way it's going to have to be, I'm afraid. Big ups to everyone who's tuned in, though. I do appreciate the support. FIFA, Talsif, this is Sissy. I do appreciate the debate in the chat. Glimpse as well. Lots of people tuned into this stream. And look, I might go live again with more news. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe we will sign it right back. Probably not. But look, thank you for everyone who tuned in. I appreciate the support, as per usual. And yeah, I'll make sure to see you all in the next one. Big ups to you all, boos. I'll see you soon.